My name is Shanae George. I'm a psychotherapist and founder of Culture Minds Therapy. My role is to take therapy outside of the office and to you all at home. I bring to you the mind behind your favourite guests. We speak about mental health, therapy and self-care. Thank you for coming, Eman.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No worries. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being extremely happy, how are you feeling today?
10.
10?
Yeah, man.
That's good.
I'm with you, right?
Oh,
come on. My G, what do you mean?
I love the energy. Even off camera, the energy is just, I love it. And that's what I love about you.
Oh.
Your energy on camera, off camera is the same.
Yeah.
You're doing incredible stuff for the culture.
Yeah.
And this is why I believe you are where you are.
Oh.
Congratulations on everything you have achieved, including the book.
Oh, thank you. We've only 10 seconds and you want me to cry. Is that what you wanted? Is that your goal?
Let's get started with your journey. For those who don't know who you are, which I don't know why they wouldn't, but let's get started off with your journey. How would you introduce yourself?
So I guess I always introduce myself, Emmanuels Aquso, financial advisor, husband, father of 4, grew up in Tower Hamlets, East London, and somehow we made it. Do you know what I mean? Made it out of that situation. So yeah, I guess my journey started, I'm Nigerian, so it's very difficult being the oldest child being a Nigerian, very, very difficult in life, just in general.
So let me stop you there. Why was it difficult?
Why? Because Nigerian parents, they forgot that we're in the UK. They came from Nigeria, but they brought the whole Nigeria here. I always used to tell people, in my house is like Nigeria. You know, like how you have an embassy, like US embassy, and they're like, this is US land. In my house is Nigerian land. Like, whatever rules exist outside of that door only exists when you're outside of that door. The second you cross over is different. So I remember one of my brethrens, Dennis, I brought him to my house, and we got to the house, and I'm like, hi, Mom. Yes, Mom. It's like, Eman, what's wrong with you? I'm like, bro, chill out. Chill out. We're not gonna die today, all right? Because there's rules, there's regulations, do you know what I mean? Like, there's ways to operate. So, as much as I'll be the guy in school cracking jokes and acting up, that can't run in my house. No, my mom will embarrass me quickly. So I feel like it was very difficult adjusting, and I'm the first child. So the first child, they're just making mistakes, and just learning off me. So it was difficult, but growing up on a council estate, poverty, I think a lot of us didn't even realize that it was poverty until you wanted something, and you realize that the answer was always no. You grew up with a lot of no's. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Everything was a no.
Everything was a no, and to the point.
You couldn't question that no. It was just no.
How dare you question? How dare you even think of, do you know what I'm going through? And as a child, I don't know what you're going through. I don't get it. I don't know what you've experienced. I grew up in Tower Hamlets, so the majority of people are Asian, mainly Bangladeshi. So I didn't grow up around racism. I didn't. So all the stuff that my parents had gone through and experienced, I hadn't experienced none of that. So for me, I'm just like, why are you guys like this? Why do you think like this, and so forth? So it was very much a transition between my parents' Nigerian heritage and the way they were brought up, and obviously being brought up in the UK and trying to find that balance. So it was very difficult.
It's kind of like adjusting from your culture to a new culture.
Exactly.
How did you find that adjustment?
Yeah, I just feel like culture is the big thing, so traditions, even going to church, sometimes they mix up the culture with and sometimes you're just like, this ain't, show me the scripture where it says, it's not there. You've brought culture and now you're trying to bring religion and you're trying to make them match, and it's like, let's just keep the two separate, but they can't because they intertwine. Do you know what I mean? So it was very difficult growing up, not having someone older to follow. You're the oldest, so you're the first doing everything, and so, for me, I just wanted to get out. I didn't like where I was, didn't like the neighborhood, I didn't like anything. So I just I got to get out. And I always tell people the story how I used to get in trouble for leaving the light on in the kitchen. I don't know, did you ever leave the light?
Yeah, I've read your book. I've seen your book and you talk about it.
So, bruv, it was a madness. Mum would just get beats for leaving the light on in the kitchen. And then you look outside, look at the Canary Wolf, all the lights are on, everybody's gone home. And so that just became my vision board. Like Canary Wolf, I used to look at those buildings and be like, I'm gonna get over there. I'm gonna get over there.
I want to stop you and I want to ask, what was it about Canary Wolf? Because when I was reading your book, you talk about it quite early on in the book, and I almost could visualize that kind of scenery of Canary Wolf because my grandma was from E14, Pennyfield, so I kind of know the area. And when you look, it's like, you know where the bridge is with the train, and then you look over, it's like nice buildings, Canary Wolf. So what was it about the other side that you saw that you were attracted to at a young age?
At a young age, it was simply the fact, and I always tell people, it's the simple things. One thing about me, I take simple things and I make them meaningful. And so for me, the simple fact that I used to get beat for leaving one light bulb on in my house, and these men could leave all the light at night. It's so beautiful. You see all the lights are on, the Canary Wolf light is just flashing. And I'm like, so these men can leave these lights on, nobody's getting in trouble, nobody's getting beats. Hundreds of floors of lights just on. And I've got beat for one light bulb. No, I've got to get over there. Wow. They must be doing something over there that's not happening over here. Just that simple light, simple electricity, that was me. That had me like, no, I've got to get over there. And so then that became my vision board. And I tell people, always have a vision for yourself, bigger than yourself. I think sometimes we have visions, but our visions are realistic. Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
And I'm like, no, I don't. Your vision has to be bigger than, so much bigger it scares you. Because if it doesn't scare you, it's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, it was like, I'm gonna get over to. I don't know nobody over there. I don't have no uncle, no auntie, no connection, no nothing. But I will get over there. And every day I leave my house and I look at these buildings and like, I'm gonna get over there. I'm gonna get over there. And I did.
And was you saying that to yourself? So when you were living in E14 and when you walked past Canary Wolf, were you saying to yourself, I'm going to get over there, I'm going to get over there?
All I would say was going over there. I used to play, I remember I used to play like, when I got working, I used to play like obviously them times it was grime and stuff like that. I'll be listening to like Kano, Gets and them man, just listen to them just chat and I'll just be listening like, just getting gassed and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna get over there. Just watch it. And I'm like, I'll be listening to these musics over there. Like, I bet no one listens to this type of stuff over there. And it's like, the maddest part is that all these types of people, like, why they live down the road from me? Do you know what I mean? In Limehouse. Yeah, we're not over the other side. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important for me to get the mindset of, I'm gonna get over there.
Did you know the route of how you were gonna get over there? Or was it just like, I'm gonna get over there and see what happens?
Not a clue. I have a clue. I had no idea how I was going to get there. I just knew that this is where I wanted to be. This is where I knew I could change my life, and not just my life, but the life of my family and so forth. So I was just like, that's the steps I'm going to take.
I love it. And I love that you're a very family-orientated person. You speak a lot about your family in your book as well. And I'm going to make references to your book as well, because you know, we want to represent and get people to buy your book, because your book is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
And we'll talk about the book in a bit more detail, but just talking on your story and kind of you getting over there. Because I want it to be a story where people understand what it took you to get over there. So you're saying to yourself, I'm going to get over there. You have that belief. And belief is very powerful.
It's powerful.
You're listening to the music, you're getting yourself hyped up and ready. When did that transition happen?
So I went to a school called Bow Boys, which you know, because we grew up in the same ends. So I went to a school called Bow Boys. The pass rate for them times was 5 A to C's. The pass rate was less than 5% of people, of the students receive 5 A to C's at Bow Boys. That's how bad it was at that time. So, you know, you're more likely to go to prison than you were to go to uni. Do you know what I mean? With those types of statistics. But I just believed that I've got to get through it. So I actually finished, I only had 4, 2 in English, maths and PE. And my PE teacher, Mr. Barry, who became my head of year, when I went to college, they said, you haven't got enough grades, you needed 5, so you can't do your course. So I went back, told Mr. Barry, he wrote a handwritten letter, gave it to me to take it to the college. I took it to the college and they're like, yeah, we'll let you in to do the course. And
what was the course on?
So I did business and sociology. And I spoke to him and I thanked him and he's just like, just don't waste this opportunity. Like, don't waste the opportunity you've got. And so that kind of made me feel like, okay, cool, someone believed in me, someone gave me an opportunity. So I used that. But then I also realized that the way education was, the way we're taught, I didn't really understand my learning style. So that's why the grades weren't really what they needed to be. Plus, I didn't have the motivation. I think it's important to understand that you need to have the motivation to want to study. Like me getting an A didn't make me feel like, oh, I'm going to study so because I want to get an A to impress. Like it wasn't that. I wanted to play basketball, I wanted to play rugby, I wanted to play athletics. Sports was my thing. So that was what I put my time and effort and energy into. So getting that opportunity, going to college. When I finished college, I went to uni, Greenwich University, and then that's when I got a job in Canary Wolf at Marks and Spencer's. Okay. So I got to Canary Wolf.
You got to the side.
I got to Canary Wolf, but now I'm in Marks and Spencer's.
Wow.
So I used to wake up 5 a.m. 5 a.m. that was the...
And how old are you?
I was 18.
18, 5 a.m. Wow.
5 a.m. in the morning, 18. Go to Marks and Spencer's, my little Marks and Spencer's fleece. Do you know what I mean? And at 5 a.m, it's just you and the foxes. Do you know what I mean? And we used to play the game. The foxes would come, I'll cross the road. The foxes will cross the road, I will cross back. We'll be doing that game to the trains to get to the DLR because there's no bus them times. You have to get on the DLR. Yeah. So this was the motivation. But I used to get up and go and just know, like, I might not be able to outthink people when it comes to getting the grades, but they can't outwork me. You can't outwork me. My hustle is too strong. Do you know what I mean? It's a different level. So where I might not get the grades that you're gonna get, the work ethic and the experience and the knowledge I'm gonna get on the job just means that me and you we're gonna be in different leagues. And so I just put in the effort and then use that to get a job in Barclays.
Wow.
And so at 19, I became a cashier at Barclays. So I left Canary Wolf, but now I'm in Barclays. So remember, first was looking over to Canary Wolf, looking at this Barclays building, saying I'm gonna get there. Got to Canary Wolf, then used that to then get into Barclays.
Well, and where in Barclays, was it in Canary Wolf area or was it another area?
No, it was in Baker Street. So
Baker Street, okay.
I was in Baker Street, Barclays.
I wanna, how did you feel when you got to Marks and Spencer? What was that like? Because as a little boy, you know, you got beats for the light.
Come on.
You see the light at Canary Wolf, you want to get there, you get there. What was that like?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. You have to understand, like, these buildings, when you're looking at them from a distance, they look big, but when you're actually there on the ground and you look up and you can't see the top of these buildings and you're just here and it's just like, it's a different world. Like, we ain't seen that. We're used to estates, do you know what I mean, and so forth, and everything was clean and, you know, people were walking to work and in suits, and I'm like, it's like a different world completely. Do you know what I mean? And you know, everyone's rushing around getting to work. There's a buzz about being in this place, and obviously I felt so much pride because everything is brand new. You know, we used to everything on the estates is old. Who know when these buildings are built? Do you know what I mean? They're dilapidated. They're falling down here. Like, everything was fresh, clean. People were in the nicest suits. You saw Ferraris, Lamborghinis. You saw that. You had people with chauffeurs, and it's just like, money is here, and now I'm here. So if money's here and I'm here, I can make money. Do you know what I mean? I can build wealth and a life for myself.
I want to ask you a question, and I want you to think about the younger you and the now you.
Yeah.
What would you say your money personality was when you were younger? So there's big spender, saver, shopper, or debtor. The younger you.
The younger me was definitely more of a shopper.
Shopper, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't have, right? So I always tell this story. So when I was at school, my uncle thought he wanted to sell trainers. So he got some trainers from America, and the trainers were called Oscars, and the O was a basketball. And obviously they didn't sell, but he had some in his house, and he's like, "Oh, here's your size, take one." I took those trainers to school. I was called Oscar for 2 years. Even after I stopped wearing them, I was still called Oscar for 2 straight years. Do you understand? Yeah. Like, so I had instead of Adidas, I had Abibas. Like the D's were B's. Do you know what I mean? And they were 4 stripes. Yeah. I had Ascots. They looked like Night Ticks, but they weren't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And the air bubble was hard. Do you understand? Like, so I used to just get rinsed. Do you know what I mean? Like, every day. So people look at me on social media and are like, "Oh, you're so witty with a joke." Bruv, I used to know that when I get to school, I'm going to get it. Everybody's like, I was the guy at school that see, like, the man them are brushing each other, and then I would laugh. I'll be the guy, I know E-man's not laughing though, and then they'll just start on me. Do you know what I mean? So I had to just learn off the top, like, I'm gonna get it. So I have to learn cusses and learn things to say and have quick comebacks and replies and so forth. So when I made money, bruv, I was buying basketball trainers. I wasn't even playing basketball.
Wow. Like,
because I was buying trainers that the younger me would have wanted, do you know what I mean? And so I call it poverty scars, where there are certain things that have happened because you've come from a deprived upbringing. And so when you start to make money, you start to fill in the gaps by spending money that actually, like I said, I weren't playing basketball, but I was buying basketball trainers. Like it didn't make sense, but it made sense at the time because of the pain that I'd been through growing up. And so I had to kind of get over that. And that meant that even though I was earning a good job and making good money, I was just wasting it, fulfilling dreams of my younger self.
So I guess it had a meaning to you while you were that spender at that time.
Yeah.
Because you were trying to fulfill that need of the younger self where you were feeling pain. Before we get onto who you are now, your money personality now, which I probably know what it's going to be, I want to talk about, you mentioned about poverty scars. And one thing that I don't think gets spoken about enough is financial trauma. Have you heard about financial trauma before?
Yeah.
What would you say financial trauma is?
For me, financial trauma is like basically when you go through certain financial experiences that leave a mark on you. So for example, I was one of these kids, but maybe you couldn't go on a school trip. So you know that the school does a trip, everyone goes away, you couldn't go away. So now you feel that pain. Now everyone comes back, they talk about how great the school trip was. So now you are making money, all of a sudden you've got to go on holiday 3-4 times a year. Even whether you can afford it or not, you've got to do that because of that pain and that hurt that you've been through of not being able to do it. I have people that have spending habits, and when I talk to them, actually it has to do with their parents or an issue that they had with their father or something like that that's causing them to spend. Sometimes we think, oh, people are impulse spenders or spending because they want to buy something. Actually, it's the dopamine that you get when you buy something and know that someone's bringing something to you, right? So what Amazon do, you can order something and then you got the wait, then you get the email, it's been dispatched, then it's on the way. Oh, 3 stops away. Do you know what I mean? Then you get that knock at the door. Here's something just for you. When you never had something when you were growing up, and all of a sudden you can click a button and someone will bring whatever you want to you, all of a sudden, the way it makes you feel means that you continue to spend. And a lot of the time we're spending when we can't afford. And when you spend when you can't afford, that's how you lead to debt.
And I guess you get attached to the money based on, like you said, your poverty scars. And so you want to spend on yourself to give yourself that kind of dopamine to make you feel good because, oh, wow, I bought this for myself and it feels good for myself. Exactly,
for you, because now you don't need anyone, right? Because when you needed someone like your mum or your dad to do something for you, it was no. It was, we can't afford that. We can't do this. We can't go there. You know what I mean? You know, when these kids used to say they went Disneyland in the 6 weeks holiday, I was like, what? I can't even watch Disney Channel. Do you know what I mean? You man are going Disneyland. Like I was playing on the balcony. You know, when the ball goes over the balcony,
that's it.
It's gone. The white lady downstairs, whoop, your ball's finished. Stab up your ball. Gone. Do you know what I mean? It's gone. So those types of experience can lead people to feel like you're not complete. And that's where I feel like when you talk about the me today, I understand that I'm already valuable. I understand that I'm unique. I'm the only version of me. Even a twin is unique, right? So anything unique, anything rare is valuable. So I understand that it's not the car that I drive that makes me valuable. I make that car valuable because I own it. And when you understand that it's not the clothes that you wear that make you people will buy clothes to make themselves feel, but it doesn't matter what. I wear the cheapest clothes. We're like, bro, you dress nice. No, that's the confidence I wear in it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because I understand who I am as a person. I understand what I bring. I understand that my clothes or the car that I drive or the place, that doesn't bring the value. Wow. I bring the value. I'm what's valuable. Like my presence is what's valuable. And so when you start to understand that, all of a sudden, this consumerism that they're trying to sell us as the only way to survive is just more. It's never enough. You start to drift away from that. So now I'm at a place where I don't really spend too tough. Like most of the stuff I buy is not designer. I don't have no Rolex or nothing. Like, not that I can't afford it. I just wouldn't. Why would I put 20K on my wrist?
I love that. And I guess for someone who is struggling with financial trauma, I was going to say, for someone who is struggling with financial trauma, what would you say to help them in a sense where how can you come out of that financial trauma mindset?
The biggest thing I always tell my clients, and when we go through our meetings, is love yourself. Too many of my clients, you don't love yourself. Because if you loved yourself, you wouldn't continue to do what you're doing to yourself. Like you're in a financial position because you've decided to make these financial decisions. So it's really important that you understand that you've got to love yourself. Like if you love yourself and understand how special you are, then all of these other things outside can't move you. Like I've got clients, for example, just bought a house, 5-bedroom house. They go visit a friend. Friend's got 8-bedroom house. Now they hate their 5-bedroom house. They want an 8-bedroom house. Just bought a new car. 6 months later, somebody else has enough. Now they hate their car. Like you have to understand, it's never enough. You've got to come to a place where you're content, even though you understand that there's a billion opportunities and abundance is out available to you. You can't chase everything. You got to know what you enjoy. You got to know what's important to you, and set limits. Even though the potential and the amount of money you can make and the amount of things that you can have is unlimited, you still need to put limits on it. Otherwise, it's never going to be enough, and you're always going to chase the next thing, and end up looking back realizing that you chase so much stuff that actually you've got nothing because you didn't have time. Because you were chasing it, you didn't have time for your missus. You didn't have time for your kids. You know how much people I meet tell me, I'm doing it for my kids. I ask them, when did you last see your kids?
Wow.
When did you last see the kids that you're doing it for? When did you last see them? When did you last help them on their homework? When were you at their last parents' evening? They're stuttering. So how could you're doing it for you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I love
if I say I'm doing something for my family and I spend no time with my family, I'm doing it for me.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? My actions speak different. So I can tell you what I feel, what the reasons why, because that justifies it. But the reality is that my actions say that I'm not doing it for my family because my family don't see me and they don't know me.
Wow. I kind of feel like I'm in therapy. Like I'm just like literally glued to what you're saying, and it's real. And this is what we need to hear. We need to hear the realness of it. And I want to ask you, you're at a stage where you love yourself and you tell your clients, love yourself, but it's not easy for people to love themselves. So have you ever struggled with loving yourself? Yeah,
definitely.
Talk to me about that.
I think for me, the big struggle is in regards to, especially like when it comes to like money and knowing your identity and who you are. Because the honest truth is that before man made money, man wasn't getting girl like that.
Okay.
Like, you see, you went Bishop, yeah?
Yeah.
Bishop girls. In our ends, Bishop girls, they were the best girls. Like, those are the girls that everybody wanted to move to. If you were dating a Bishop girl, then you know that you're doing well. Do you know what I mean? They wasn't looking for me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I took that as they're not looking for me because I haven't got money. Because that's what you tell yourself. You tell yourself because you haven't got money. And so I think that even pushed me to make money. And I was listening to something in the car, like with Oloni. She's talking about how man them should not only just pay for your dinner, but they should pay for your travel to the date and back as well. And I was just thinking about, we are so focused on men paying for stuff that almost that becomes the only value that we now want to bring as a man. So now you lot want so much from men in a sense of money that now I'm not working on my character. I'm not working on my personality. I'm not working on because all I'm focused on is you want money. So I'm going to make money, and then however I treat you or however I speak to you or when we talk, if there's no substance, it doesn't matter because I can pay for you to get here. I can pay for you to get there. I can put you on a plane. It doesn't make sense. That's not how the system should work. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, what happened is that I got a job at 22 and I'm making more money than my dad, my uncles, do you know what I mean, at 22. So now I've got a company car, I've got nice suits, I've got a business card with Barclays on it. Bruv, I'm just reckless. I'm reckless. And so what happens is that you get so reckless that you can't grow. See, the biggest thing that saved me was my marriage. So when I talk about my wife a lot, and people are like, the biggest thing that saved me was my marriage, because when I married my wife, I could focus. You see, as a single man with money and a little bit of a hype around you, the focus is not there. Because every day, every time you go outside, you meet someone, I do this, I do that. Now they're impressed. Now you're trying to move to, and for man, it's the chase, right? So we chase, we get onto the next one. But I forgot what got me to this position in the first place. What got me to Barclays was the hunger. But now I'm at Barclays, I'm not hungry anymore because I'm just enjoying the benefits of being here, which then slows your growth. So for me, having my wife and being able to have someone else to say, look, I've got to protect this person. I've got to shelter this person. My actions have to change. The places I have to be different. I have to go to work. I have to come home. I have responsibilities. Then having children, that's what's propelled me to the next level. Do you know what I mean? So when I look back at my younger self, sometimes it's a bit of embarrassment because I'm embarrassed at the person that I was. At the time, I was very proud. Do you know what I mean? But that's growth, right? So you grow and you learn and you develop. But when I look back at my younger self, I realize how much money, time, energy wasted. Do you know what I mean? Doing stuff that I felt like gave me validity. But like I said, I was already special. I was already important. But I had to go through that journey. So I always want to let people know that message. Because when people see me now, oh, you're so switched on. Bruv, I've been there. Like, we all have a journey. We all have our flaws and the things that we do wrong. But going through that has helped me learn. So when I look at my younger self, sometimes I'm like, I can't believe I did that, or I went there, or I did this. But it's all shaped me to be the person I am today. So I wouldn't change it.
Before you met your wife, what work did you do on yourself in that period? Because I guess having your wife there was kind of like what solidified things. And shout out to your wife. She must be a very strong, stable woman.
Yeah, definitely.
And shout out to you as well. But what work did you do in yourself to get to the stage where you have a wife?
I think the biggest thing I had to do on myself is know who I am.
Okay.
I think sometimes we're looking for a partner, but how can you partner with someone if you don't know who you are?
Did you go to therapy?
No, therapy. Okay. I'm black. You know what
okay.
I've gone to therapy now. Okay. But then. Therapy. Therapy was going to your pastor, isn't it? You go to pastor and tell pastor, and pastor prays and gives you some oil on your head, and everything is well. Okay. But no.
So back then, what did you do?
Back then, I got a mentor.
Okay.
Also, because I was all my peers were much older than me. So I hanged around my peers. So I saw that all my peers were married, kids. They had that stability. So that really encouraged me to kind of change my ways. I think it's really important to surround yourself with people that have been successful but are also older than you. Because then you can get to where they're at quicker because you can learn from their mistakes. A wise person learns from somebody else's mistakes. Sometimes as young people, we wanna make the mistakes. But actually, if I can learn from somebody else's mistakes, I get there so much quicker. So surrounding myself with older people just taught me about the importance of stability, the importance of actually, marriage, but also what I wanted. So who I am, I had to find out who I am first, and then also what I actually wanted. Because remember, social media, like them times Facebook was just coming. So I'm lucky that I wasn't really, but right now, a lot of us, when you think about social media is almost swaying us from understanding what we really, like what we need in life. Yeah, because a lot of the time, if you go on certain Mandem's explore page, it's a madness. Like if your explore could represent you, my goodness, some of us will be in prison. Like we'll be. It's embarrassing. You couldn't show your mum your explore page, the types of things that you're liking and watching or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's like actually when you think about that now. So I speak to a lot of young man. Then what do you want? Oh yeah, big bum, big breast. But is that what you really? Is that what you really want?
Yeah.
Or is that what you like? Because obviously on social media, we like a lot of content, right? So we're forever pressing the like button. And sometimes we're confusing what we like with what we want. But actually, we need to focus on what we need. And so what the work I did was the women that I was around me, I realized they weren't what I needed. They were what I liked. Oh, man had some spices. I'm telling you, some spices. But when I met my wife, for example, like big bum, my wife had no bum, nothing. I thought, how can this be for me? God, you can't bring this for me. Do you know what I mean? But I had to understand, am I really gonna let this amazing woman go? This woman who makes me a better version of myself go because she doesn't have bum? Is that really what we're gonna base the next 30, 40, 50 years on? Do you know what I mean? So again, I had to really work on myself and what I understand what I really needed, and understood that she was the wife for me and she completed me.
Wow. How long have you been married for?
12 years this year.
Wow.
Yeah, we're married 12 years.
That's lovely, and it gives it so much more meaning.
Yeah.
When you share your story and you share about, you weren't perfect. No. You did struggle, but you made that effort to work on yourself. Yeah. And then you found your wife, you got married, and you're here today. Yeah. 12 years, 4 kids.
4 kids.
What's it like being a dad of 4 kids? What is your house like?
My house is energy. Like you have to understand, we're our own party. Like there's 6 of us. Like, you know what I mean? We're our own party. We can go anywhere and we can just crack jokes ourselves and laugh ourselves and play with ourselves. It doesn't. We're our own energy. And one thing about having these young kids is like, I understand the influence. I always tell myself, I want to be the number one influencer to my kids. Like, I don't want my kids to be number one influencer, some random stranger on the internet. Do you understand? So that's why it's so important for me to be at home. It's so important for me to have their chats. It's so important to me to take them to school in the morning and let them tell me certain things. Now, I can't do it all the time, but when I can, I treasure it. Do you know what I mean? And I always, whenever I see them walking past, talk to me, how are you? Like, do you know what I mean? Help them with their homework, whatever I can, because I want to make sure that when they get older, that influences, they're looking to me. Do you know what I mean? And the good thing, I guess, where I'm a bit more blessed is that I'm on TV. Like, do you know what it's like for your kids to watch TV and then they can just watch your show on the actual television? And it's like, wow, my dad's on TV. So if my dad's on TV, I can do it. I know him. Do you know what I mean? I see him every day. Do you know what I mean? So if my dad can be on TV, I can be on TV. Like, even now, we haven't given them a YouTube, but they all have their own fake YouTube channels. They're like, guys, welcome back to, there's no guys. Do you know what I mean? There's no one, but in their mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm encouraging it because they can achieve whatever they want in life. Because if their dad can be on TV, the sky's the limit. And I want to protect that because I feel like as young people, like, especially us, like growing up where we grew up, you get told quickly that you can't have this. That's not for you. Be realistic. I want them to be so ridiculously unrealistic. I want them to imagine whatever they want for their life and go and achieve it. So the longer I can protect them, to give them that mindset that whatever they think, whatever they want, they can achieve. They say they want to be an astronaut. Let's go. Yeah. I don't know how, but let's go. Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
That's the type of mindset I want. That's the type of young people I want to raise. So for me, I understand the importance of being with them and also showing up. So they see me. Like, I see my sons love to wake up early. Sometimes they're shocked when I'm leaving the house when they're waking up. They're like, Dad, you're already dressed? I'm like, yeah, I'm going here, I'm going there. They see the work.
I love that.
And then they see what the work has created. Do you know what I mean? So I don't hide money from them. I don't hide anything from them. Wow. When we were buying our house, I was telling them, look, we're buying a house. Everybody's making cuts.
Wow.
So when it was like, can we have McDonald's? I didn't even need to say nothing. The other child will come and say, but we're buying a house, you know, there's rice at home.
Wow.
Like, they will know because then when we got the house, everybody's celebrating.
Yeah, I love that.
So I don't want to, you know, like our parents, no, this is adult talk. There's no adult talk. We talk to them, like, let them understand, like, as much as possible, the opportunities so that they can feel empowered. Because I see in other communities, like, especially like when I see like young white kids, they're not scared of nobody. Because they can talk to their mum and dad anyhow. No, I'm not going to let my kids talk to me anyhow. But they're going to have the confidence to understand that if they think they're right, it doesn't matter if you're an adult or not, they can express that. Do you know what I mean? And they can justify that, and that's really important.
I love that. Your story is, I could talk to you forever. Your story is so, and as a man as well, because we don't really see many men who take that approach of installing so much confidence in their children. Yeah. But I guess it comes from the work you've done on yourself.
Exactly.
So that you can instill in your children today, and they can see Daddy's on TV, Daddy's doing big things, Daddy's on ITV, Daddy's on Jeremy Vine, Daddy's doing so much, and you are inspiring them to become like you, but even better because it's installed from the home.
From home, yeah.
What would you say to fathers out there who may be struggling financially, is impacting their mental health? What tips would you give them?
I think for me, it's number one to understand that your current situation you're not defined by your current situation. Yeah. So a lot of the time, you might not have money, but that doesn't mean that you are now broke for life. You might just be going through a season, right? And so for me, I had to understand that, yes, I'm from a council estate. Yes, I don't have the best education or but that doesn't define where I can be in life. And a lot of us define ourselves by, oh, I'm from a council estate, so I can only achieve this, or I'm broke now, so we're just gonna, and that's how we get into poverty cycles. I think it's really important for that person to understand that they're not defined by this moment. This is just a moment in time. So you might be broke, but you're broke at this moment in time. You're not broke for your whole life. Do you understand? There's a difference. So when you understand that it's a moment in time, you understand that I can't change the past. That's another thing. Forgiveness. A lot of us are stuck where we're stuck because we haven't forgiven ourselves. We haven't forgiven the people that were supposed to protect us, whether it's your parents, whether it's teacher at school, whoever was supposed to. So we're carrying a lot of bitterness. And so because of that, it's blocking ourselves from changing our situation or getting out of that. So I always tell people, make sure you're forgiven, like forgiving yourself, forgiving the people around you, so that you can really see the world in a different way. because that bitterness that we carry means that we see the world as a dark place. And that means that we don't see the opportunities. We always see the negativity. And so when you actually get to a place of forgiveness and say, okay, they should have done better, but they didn't, but it's okay. And also, I can't change my past, but I can change my tomorrow. You see, when you understand that you can change your tomorrow, now the question is, what are you going to do today that's going to help you change your tomorrow? Forget what you've been through. You can't change that, right? But I can change my tomorrow. So now that person that's stuck there, I'd ask them, what are you going to do today? Are you going to take a course? Are you gonna look at the things that you enjoy and try and monetize it? Are you going to try and get a promotion at work? Are you going to start going to work earlier? What are you going to do that's going to change your tomorrow? Because you can't change your past. Do you know what I mean? And so when we start to look at that, we see totally different results.
Love that. Thank you so much. Like, literally, I feel like I'm in a mentoring session, a therapy session. I've learned so much from you just being here. And I thank you so much for coming down and speaking with me and giving me some gems. And I hope that the audience watching will also find some more gems, added gems to what you provided us today. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you being here. I've learned so many gems. I feel like I've been in mentoring and therapy, and I hope that the guests watching have also been inspired by your gems. And I just also want to say, keep being you, because you're so authentic. And even reading your book, I can feel that authenticity. And you being here today, I feel comfortable, confident, and I've learned a lot. So keep being you, and thank you for inspiring me and the culture.
Oh, thank you so much.
Can I get your autograph, this amazing book?
Of course.
And I encourage people, get this book. This book is incredible. You can get it on Amazon.
Amazon, yeah, it's available.
Amazon, anywhere else?
WH, any bookstore.
Amazon, any bookstore. Get this book and learn about money, become financially independent and financially wealthy.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Oh, lovely. I know you said at the beginning you were feeling 10 out of 10.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you again, on a scale of 0 to 10, how are you feeling now?
Oh, I'm already 10 out of 10, so I don't know if you can get higher than 10.
It's still a 10?
Yeah, I'm on a high, man. I'm on a high.
Yeah, love it. Oh, thank you so much.
No, thank you.